a lot of people think once you leave something toxic, that's it. Like everything is just supposed to get better after that. But they don't tell you what really comes with it. You know what I mean? That part where you got to figure yourself out again. That part where you don't even fully see yourself the same. And I was reading something somebody sent me from my community, and I'm not gonna lie, the message it sat with me for a minute. She said she been trying to find the strength to start over in life after being in a toxic relationship for so long, and not even just leaving it, but learning how to see her own potential again. And she said that's something she struggles with every single day. And I feel like a lot of people really go through that, but it's hard for them to speak on it. You know what I mean? Everybody talks about leaving, but nobody really talks about what happens after you leave, because starting over, that's a different type of pain. You know what I mean? That's a different type of confusion. That's a different type of loneliness. You know what I mean? You would think once you leave something toxic, everything just gets better, like it's supposed to feel freeing immediately. You know what I mean? But for a lot of people, it definitely don't feel like freedom at first. I feel like it feels like, what do I do now? You know what I mean? Because when you've been in something toxic for so long, it changes, one, how you see yourself. It changes how you move. It changes what you believe you deserve. You start second guessing everything. You start questioning your worth. You start feeling like maybe that was the best you was gonna get. You know what I mean? And that's the part people, struggle with. You feel what I'm saying? It's not even about just leaving a person. It's about unlearning a version of yourself that you had to become just to survive. You feel me? And that don't happen overnight. That don't happen in a week. Sometimes that don't even happen in a few months. You know what I mean? You really gotta go out there and rebuild yourself piece by piece. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck, because rebuilding yourself requires something a lot of people don't even realize, you know what I mean? And that's confidence. You know what I mean? That's belief. That's trusting yourself. When you believe, it's so crazy because I got all this joint in my mind, but I feel like when you've been in a situation where you've been hurt, manipulated, or slowly broken down over time, you don't just walk out of the situation the same person. You get what I'm saying? So when she says she struggles with seeing her true potential, I felt that, you know what I mean? I felt that on a different level. And no, I'm not a female, you feel me? But me as a person, I understand that, because how can you see your potential when you've been made to feel like you're not enough for so long? You know what I mean? It's like your mind knows you deserve more, but your feelings ain't caught up yet. You know what I mean? Your feelings just didn't catch up yet. And that gap right there, that's where the struggle lives. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There I go. It's crazy because my friend Kelly always say, like, I'll be saying little words. Now every time I say it, I'm going to just start laughing at myself. But anyways, I'm going to tell y'all something, right? And I need whoever's watching this to really hear me. Just because you don't fully see your potential yet, don't mean it's not there. Just because you're still healing, don't mean you're not growing. And just because you feel like you're lost right now, it does not mean you're not on the right path. Sometimes, how can I say this? Sometimes starting over isn't about having everything figured out. It's about just making that decision. A decision that basically says, I'm not going back to what broke me, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't know what's next, even if you're scared, even if you feel alone, you know what I mean? I can honestly say that decision alone, that's growth, you know what I mean? And I think people underestimate that, because we live in a world where everything is about results. Everything is about winning. Everything is about, having it all together. But nobody really shows you what it looked like to be in the middle of rebuilding your goddamn life. You feel what I'm saying? That part ain't pretty, you feel me? It's actually really messy. You know what I mean? It's really quiet, you know what I mean? And it's like you learning yourself all over again. It's you sitting there with your thoughts. It's you trying to figure it all out. You know what I mean? And who are you without the pain? You know what I mean? Like, you just trying to understand that. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, that takes time. So if you in a space right now where you trying to just start over, where you trying to see your worth again, where you trying to believe in yourself again, I want you to understand something. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not too far gone. You know what I mean? You are basically just in a process. And that process don't always feel good. But listen, Stash is going to tell you it's necessary. You feel me? It is really necessary, because the version of you that you're becoming can't exist with the mindset you had in survival mode. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that. Type it in the comment if y'all get what I'm saying. But you're not that person anymore, even if it don't fully feel like it yet. And that's the part you got to give yourself grace for. You know what I mean? You got to give yourself grace. You don't need to rush your healing. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to prove nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? All you need to do is keep choosing yourself every single day. Even on days where, I'm not going to lie, it feels hard. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Even on the days when you don't feel strong. You know what I mean? Even on days when you questioning everything, because I'm not gonna lie, like it's real. Like, healing is not about, you know what I mean, being perfect. It's about being consistent. And the fact that you're even trying to start over, that alone says a lot about who you are. That alone right there is tough. That's strength. You feel what I'm saying? Real strength at that. So to you and anybody else that feels like this right now, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Be patient with yourself. And don't let where you are right now make you forget where you going. Because, like, man, the best thing I can say is, because your story don't end where you felt the most broken. You know what I mean? That's just where it started changing. You know what I mean? And if you're still here, if you're still trying, if you're still pushing forward, then you already doing better than you think, even if it don't feel like it. You know what I mean? You just don't need to give up. You know what I mean? Don't give up on yourself. So I'm done rambling. If this video hit in any way, drop something in the comment section you've been dealing with lately. And I've been reading everything y'all sent me, and I'm really building these conversations around us, around what it is y'all sending me. And, you know, I appreciate it, because y'all definitely giving me an opportunity to just start thinking outside the box, thinking about how other people feel, and just letting me get on this platform and talk about it, because I feel like this is something we all need. You know what I mean? So if you new here, this is what we do. You know what I mean? Real conversations, real growth. I go by the name of Stash Cash, and welcome to the vibe. Yeah.